Mornings with Jaresha is a radio show and podcast here to equip, empower, and elevate you to the next level by helping you win your mornings and win your day with inspiration and motivation so you can wake, slay, pray, and take action. Today is a fabulous day to be great, have great, and do great. You just have to be willing to unleash your greatness and take action. This show is for everyone from all walks of life who just simply want to feel empowered and motivated to take the next step. Now, let's get it. Let's go. Mornings with Jaresha begins now.
Welcome back to another episode of Mornings with Jaresha. I hope that you woke up this morning and you are just ready. You are just on fire for executing on your goals, your dreams, and walking into your purpose because that's what we talk about on this show. It's all about executing on your goals. And I hope that you feel inspired today to take action. But listen, let me tell you. This morning, when I was having my breakfast, and generally what I kind of do for breakfast, it kind of varies, but I had my banana, my granola, and my grapefruit with my grapefruit juice, right? And this is all mixed in the same bowl. And my kids, they talk about, ooh, that's nasty, but don't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it till you try it. It's really, really good. If you are a grapefruit kind of girl, or boy. If you are a grapefruit kind of person, then it's so good. It's so good. But this morning I was thinking about how we literally only have what almost is it 70 something days? It might even be close to like 60 something days. So we have it's about 70 days left of this year. Now, I don't know if that just blows your mind, but it absolutely blows my mind because I'm like, how in the world are we now at 70 days, 70 something days left in 2023? I can remember the beginning of the year and even probably last year talking about how this was going to be the Jordan year. And I really hope this has been your Jordan year so far. I hope that you have accomplished so much that you really truly wanted to accomplish. But if you haven't gotten everything done, that just goes to show that you still have about 70 days left to accomplish the things that you need to do. You have 70 something days or 70 days left to really, knock out your goals, finish it up strong. And I believe that you can do that. And I'm also over here working on finishing the year strong. It's so important that we do that. But before I just jump into anything else, I really want to get to the breakfast breakdown. I really feel like that is the name. I really feel like it just flows. And so, if this is your first time tuning into this show, the breakfast breakdown is where I'm sharing what I'm learning, what I'm loving, and what is truly empowering me today. And I encourage you to come up with your own breakfast breakdown because when I tell you, when you are sitting in the morning eating your banana, your granola, and your grapefruit, you can just reflect and think about the things that you're learning, loving, and feeling empowered about. And I have my coffee too. So whether it's your coffee, maybe you're an oatmeal kind of person, whatever you're doing in the morning, just know that that is a time that you can actually work on your own breakfast breakdown. And so with my breakfast breakdown today, let me tell y'all, because I'm super, super excited as I think about the things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is it that I'm learning right now? I feel like we learn so much every single day. And if you're not learning things every single day, then I need for you to really check yourself. Look at what you're doing every single day, because I feel like there should not be a day that go past that we are not learning, that we are not growing. even if you're learning something about yourself, guess what? You're still learning. And so I have been learning and growing and really exploring this tool called Notion. Now, I may have talked about this on the show before. Matter of fact, I think I have talked about this on the show before. But let me tell y'all, Notion has been a complete game changer for me. And so it is this whole digital workspace that I'm really, really loving. And so I got introduced to this system called the second brain. And I can't think of the YouTuber who actually started this, so he's the one that introduced this whole system about the second brain. And I follow him and I can't think of his name right now, but this host, he actually has a book too. So I'm going to have to look it up because that's going to bother me. You know how you just think about like, okay, what is um, Tiago Forte? I think that's how you pronounce his name. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name. But so he's the one that came up with the second brain system. And so when I tell you the whole concept is really pretty amazing, you know how you just come across something and you're like, you know what, this is brilliant. This is really, really brilliant. But not just that, how can I use it? How can I apply it? Because I've utilized Notion before. Like I've used Notion before. And if I can be honest with y'all, it was some years ago. And I was like, ooh, this was after I had tried Asana, was loving Trello. Now, mind you, I do prefer Trello over Asana, but that's just about preference. And so I was like, okay, let me see what this whole Notion thing is about. Jumped in, and I really didn't care for Notion then. And I say that because it seemed very slow, like it just wasn't doing what I needed it to do. And so then, this was years back, I was like, well, I'm going to go back to Trello. And then I started using ClickUp, with my team and everything else. And so I am back to Notion. And when I tell you, I was like, okay, let me just try it again to see. And so I'm really loving it. Like I'm loving the Notion. I'm loving Notion. I'm loving being able to set up, my dashboard. I have really, I've really feel like I have been learning and growing through this digital, workspace. And so that concept of the second brain, when you get a chance to look it up, look it up on YouTube. But it's really, really good because it allows you to get things out of your head, get it in, have a system for your notes. I really believe in systems. And so, if you have a business, if you don't, you need to have a system. Like we all need a system. And I think, matter of fact, I'm going to do a show on systems because I think it's so important for us all to have some kind of system in our life to help us really stay organized, to help us focus. And so that's exactly what it does for me. It helps me capture, organize, and recall information. We think we have to have all this information in our minds all day, just carrying it around. And I use my planner too. But guess what? It allows me to be able to put things on this digital workspace, and then I can access it. My assistant can access it. My team can access it. And is that not greatness? That is greatness to me. That is absolute greatness. It means that whether I am, capturing ideas, capturing, the things that I need to do, I can have a system that's going to keep it organized and I can recall the information without having to, have all these papers all over the place or trying to remember stuff because it's organized in the system. So Notion is pretty amazing. It's very amazing. Try it out. It's really good, y'all. I think I'm going to also do a couple of YouTube videos so I can show y'all what my Notion looks like because it's one thing to hear like, oh, this is such a great tool, but you have to be able to see it in action. And I know there are countless videos out there on Notion, but I'm just saying it's everyone's system, everyone's dashboard, everyone's system is different. And I really want to be able to show you all how amazing it is so you can potentially use it for your own life. And so that is what I am learning. I am learning and I'm loving. So this is like, I'm learning and loving. But what I'm really, really loving is this show called The Morning Show. Now, let me tell y'all, when I do get time to sit down and watch, a show, whatever it may be, it has to be a really good show. Like, I'm the kind of person that, for one, I don't really watch TV like that, anyways. And so, if I'm going to sit down and, watch anything, I feel like it has to be something really, really good. Or it's just, I'm going to not watch it, pretty much is how it is. My kids always joke that, you fall asleep on stuff. That's probably why. Not just to mention that, with so much wearing so many different hats, by the time it's time to sit down and watch something, I really have to feel like I'm engaged and it draws my attention. But what I am absolutely loving is the morning show. And so the morning show, it features Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, and I would highly, highly recommend it. Now, normally I wouldn't even get on here and say, hey, you have to check out this show, but I really, really enjoy it. I really, really love it. I feel like there's some pretty amazing characters. So now I can't think of some of the other actors' names, because I'm all about just women empowerment and everything else. And so there, of course, there's some males on the show. But I'm loving the show. At first I was like, ooh, I don't know if this is a show that I would really like. So it is a drama series. I think there may be a few different um seasons so far, but I'm loving it. I'm really, really loving the show. And so I would tell you, you know what? If you get into, so it's all about, like, it is what it is, the morning show. So it's, based off of the morning show and them being anchors and all of that. And I thought, I really wouldn't get into it, but the storyline, the plot is really, really good. And I'm not going to go into the details and everything as far as that, but there were some really things that I learned about um Reese Witherspoon, and not from the show, but she's truly like a powerhouse, and not just on the screen, but off the screen too. And so she's been really instrumental. And I happen to see somebody talking about her and how she is been really instrumental in helping books turn into like really great movies and all of that. And I'm like, you know what, she really knows her business. And there are some things that you just don't realize about her being an actress. You don't know what else she has going on. And so I think that was pretty amazing. I was really like, wow, I didn't know that was something else that she's doing. And I think it's amazing because at the end of the day, I think that as a woman who wears many, many hats, that I feel like we have to wear, sometimes we just have to wear many hats. And so she like has taken her book club and become like a film producer and everything else. And so my hat, really goes off to Reese Witherspoon because I didn't realize and didn't know that there were so many different things that she's doing, so many amazing things. And I'm always looking for opportunities to really like, give a high five, shout out, and really celebrate other women, other entrepreneurs that's really out here doing it. To me, it really inspires us all. So what is empowering me? What's empowering me? So the last couple of weeks, I had an opportunity to attend some networking events. And when I tell you it like reignited, I shouldn't say reignited, it ignited a new spark within me to be able to connect with some amazing, for one, let me just set the tone for this because just so happened the networking events that I went to were women networking events. And so it was really, really impactful. It was very inspiring. And when I tell you, I really connected with some amazing women, some amazing women. And so it was a networking event that was like, the way that it was structured, it was a like speed networking. Now, I don't know if you've ever done speed networking, but I haven't. And so it was very inspiring. First, it was like, okay, how does this work? But it was so good to be able to connect with, and so many different women, like a number of women in such a short time. And it was just really, really good. And so the other one was, it wasn't a speed networking, but it was still an amazing, amazing event to be able to connect with so many women that has, we all are like minded And it just really reminded me of the power of connections and the value in networking. So that really empowered me. It empowered me to not just, say, okay, I love networking, love connecting, but how can I continue connecting? How can I continue to find those networking events that I can go to really be able to, share my business, share my brand with people in hopes that we can really connect and, build those lasting connections and really begin to nurture them. So that is it for today's breakdown or breakfast breakdown. That is, I hope that it gives you something to really ponder, something to embrace, and something to explore. We have to remember each day is a chance to learn, a chance to love, and feel empowered. Now, moving and transitioning from the breakfast breakdown, I have talked about on the show how some of us are, waking up every Monday morning and we're on the struggle bus because we don't even want to even deal with Monday. We'd rather just go straight to Tuesday. We don't want to deal with Monday mornings. And if we can be completely honest, I feel like we often are in, like, we all have been in this space, right? We have been in this space. We need to own this space. And I've talked about how we need to get off of the struggle bus because if we, a lot of us are on the struggle bus, a lot of us stay on the struggle bus. And I really feel like it's about shifting our mindset, especially when it comes down to Monday mornings. So, how can we take something such as a Monday morning and infuse it with positivity and truly look at it as, you know what, I'm going to conquer this week and it's going to start with Monday morning. I'm going to conquer this week and it's going to start with Monday morning. I feel like if we look at it in a different, with a different perspective, that we can begin to not feel like we're just like Monday morning is the worst thing ever. Cause I feel like that's where we all go, right? It's like I can remember, this is years back when walking into like a 9 to 5 and everyone was dreading, oh, it's Monday morning. It's Monday. Everyone has the same feel, the same thought process about Monday. And I feel like it's contagious. Like everyone feels like Mondays are just the absolute worst. Like you're dragging. It doesn't matter what job you're going to. You're dragging, and you're dragging some more. I really want us to get into or shift our perspective, shift our mindset to where we're not viewing Monday mornings as just the worst all be all kind of deal. And it's so interesting too, because I feel like it started years ago. Like, so maybe when we were in school. And I say that because we were playing some kind of game as a family and literally, one of the questions were about, like, what is the worst day of the week? And everyone went to, I guess, with that being said, if you had to choose the worst day of the week, who's not going to say Monday? We're all going to say Monday. But I feel like, regardless of whatever, everyone feels like Monday mornings are the absolute worst. And so I just want you to think about something today. I want you to think about something today and each and every day. How can you change your mindset? How can you conquer your morning struggle? If it's a Monday morning struggle, how can you conquer that struggle? Because there is a saying that says either you run the day or the day runs you. And so if we are imagining our weeks, our days as a blank canvas, and like Monday is the brush in your hand. It doesn't matter how, last week unfolded. We have to look at Monday as a fresh start. It is a fresh start. How can we begin to say, you know what, Monday mornings are not, oh, I hate Monday mornings. It is the absolute worst. But it is a fresh start for you. It is a chance for you to paint a new picture. It is a chance for you to paint a new picture and, really look at it as a path towards achieving your goals and your dreams. Now, if we can be honest, most of us maybe, relaxed over the weekend. Maybe some people had to work, but if you relax, then maybe that's why you absolutely can't stand Monday mornings or you're dreading Monday mornings. But I would ask you to really look at that thing. Understand why you're dreading Monday mornings. Understand why it's like a every week thing. Cuz I honestly feel like once we say that, once we speak that thing into existence, then guess what? Your Monday mornings is always going to be like that. So how can you shift that? How can you begin to make that change? I really feel like the key to empowering your Monday and even each day after that, it's all about your perspective, right? It's about your perspective. Maybe it's about looking at different strategies and some kind of tips that you hear either on this show or other shows. There is a quote by the author of The Miracle Morning, and his name is Hal Elrod. And he says, how you wake up each day and your morning routine, how you wake up each day in your morning routine dramatically affects your levels of success in every single area of your life. And let's just sit there for a second, because how you wake up each day, how are you waking up? How did you wake up today? Did you wake up like ready to slay the day? Did you wake up like, you know what? I am dreading today. I don't want to go to this job. I don't want to see these people. How did you wake up today? How did you wake up today? And to take it a step further, what does your morning routine look like? What does that morning routine look like for you? Is it that you're barely, you're hitting the snooze, finally rolling out of bed, and then having to dash out of the house or, get ready because maybe you work from home? What does your morning look like? What does that morning routine? What does that look like for you? And how does that translate to the areas of the success that you've had in your life? How does that translate to the success in all of the areas of your life? So we're not just talking about your professional life. We're not just talking about your relationships. We're not just talking about your health and wellness. We're talking about spiritually, so your faith. We're talking about your finances. We're talking about each and every area of your life. How you wake up each day and your morning routine is going to affect your levels of success. That is a question for you to ask yourself. What are you doing that you need to stop doing? What are you doing that you need to stop doing? And what do you need to start doing? Because whether you are a student, whether you're working a 9-to-5 job, you're an entrepreneur, I know that we all experience those struggles, right? We experience being on that struggle bus, and most of us are on that struggle bus every Monday morning. But what really matters is not necessarily the struggle itself, but how we choose to manage it. What can we do about the struggles? How can we choose to rise above the struggles that we're having with Monday mornings? And some of us, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is when there seems like there's light at the end of the tunnel. What can we do about this struggle? What can we do? I believe there are things you can do, and I'm not going to give you those things because I want you to actually look at your own life. Look at your own struggle bus, okay? Look at your own struggles. Look at your own morning struggles and say, how can I begin to make changes? How can I begin to take action? I just mentioned that we have 70 days left of the year. Are you going to stay on the struggle bus for the whole rest of the year? Because a lot of times what we're doing, if we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, we know what that means, right? We know that's the definition of insanity. You can't keep doing the same things over and over again and expect something different to happen. At the same time, if you're going to keep repeating the same process, if you're going to keep saying, you know what, I hate Monday mornings, I'm dreading, if you have that thought process, if your body is going through that, even with over the weekend, like you're dreading Mondays, how can you change that? What can you do about that. I really feel like we have to conquer these morning struggles, and I feel like we can do it together, right? We can do it together. So keep tuning in to the show. I hope that you get some really practical tips that you can utilize in your everyday life. And, really, I hope that it empowers you, because that's what I'm here for. I want to empower you so that you can begin to look at your own life and say, you know what, how can I shift my perspective? How can I make changes in my own life? Even the baby steps. It doesn't have to be huge changes. Yes, we have 70 days left of the year, but guess what? There's still work for you to do. There's still work for me to do. And if you're on this struggle bus and you continue to be on the struggle bus each and every day, guess what? Start there. Start with conquering those struggles. Start with conquering your morning struggles. We have to raise the bar of productivity. We have to embrace positivity, and we have to conquer our weeks. And we do that one Monday at a time. One day at a time. Because of this, the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. And Franklin Roosevelt said that the only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. And there's no room for doubts. No room for doubts. On this show, we talk about how we need to execute on our goals, our dreams, and walking into our purpose. I started the year off saying this is our Jordan year. This is your Jordan year. And if, maybe you're not into Jordan or don't, guess what? This is your year. This is your year, and it's still your year. You still have work to do. So let's continue to learn, to grow, and conquer. So I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready. I hope you're ready to conquer those morning struggles. I hope you're ready to execute on your goals, your dreams, and walking into your purpose. Let's get it. Let's go.
Thank you for listening to the Mornings with Jaresha show. Follow me on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube at Jaresha Moore. Email Jaresha at empoweronpurpose.com and text 937-938-6373. And have a great day on purpose.